Welcome to the Dowden Podcast. I'm your host, the official CRG, and today we're going to talk about why if you truly want to start to see some real growth and progress in not only yourself, but your life, then you have to stop comparing yourself to others and really start to focus on your own path moving forward. But before we get started, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. That way you don't miss any weekly episodes and posts. You can find video of this episode strictly on YouTube, but the audio everywhere else. Now, when it comes to truly seeing that real growth and progress in not only yourself, but your life, understanding that you have to stop comparing yourself to others and really start to focus on your own path moving forward genuinely is one of the most important things that I have personally ever learned, especially as a growing entrepreneur, because this is something that I used to do on a day-to-day basis, having it not only kill my daily motivation, but really just my mentality overall towards the things that I actually wanted to achieve in my life. All because I would simply compare myself to others instead of putting myself first when I needed to most. Because you see, when I was first starting my podcast, comparison is something that I was already so used to because I just used to compare myself to others even outside of entrepreneurship. But especially right when I started that podcast, that's when I really started to compare myself the most because I would compare my growth, my views, down to my looks, my content, and I would try and just to compare to all of these successful entrepreneurs and podcasters because in my mind, I thought that if I were to do exactly what they were doing, if I were to look like them, put their content and almost copycat it, then their life would turn into mine. I would reach that success. I would be able to do what they're doing. But in all reality, that's just simply not the case at all. But because I was just so trapped in that mentality and I was just so stuck on thinking that these things truly were going to work if I just copycatted every single little thing, it genuinely did nothing but slowly start to catch up to me. It started to ruin my life and throw me into these never ending cycles of just negativity and self doubt, all because I would simply try to live someone else's life instead of focusing on my own. Because you see, in all reality, and this took me a very long time to learn, but when it comes to you actually comparing yourself to other people or even just to the things you see online, it genuinely does nothing but put up a wall between you and those real end goals. Because instead of asking the questions of, oh, well, how can I improve on this and that? Or what can I do in order to make my life better? We then instead ask, well, how come it hasn't happened to me? Or why isn't it my time yet? Having that be the exact reason why you're not seeing that real growth and progress, not only in yourself, but your life. Because it's not the fact that you don't have the full potential, that you can't make these things real because you truly can. But it's just simply the fact that you're asking the wrong questions and you're just constantly putting all of this effort and time into somebody else instead of putting it back into yourself and really trying to make your own journey and your own path moving forward. So, if you genuinely want to start to see some real growth and progress in not only yourself, but your life, then now is the time for you to really start to realize that until you stop comparing yourself and really start to accept you for you moving forward, these real things are then genuinely going to become impossible. Because I promise you, you can be the next big content creator, streamer, gamer, model, entrepreneur, and so on and so forth, but you have to do it at your own pace and on your own journey. Okay, it doesn't matter where you're from, what you look like, and so on. You are perfect just the way you are. So stop comparing yourself. It isn't getting you anywhere, but just throwing that negativity and self doubt at you. You can make these things real, but you have to create your own journey in order to do so. I promise you, these things aren't easy, but it doesn't make it impossible. So go ahead, really start to motivate yourself, educate yourself, and start changing your mindset towards these things if you genuinely want to start to see some real growth and progress in not only yourself, but your life. But with that said, today's quote is by Alexis G. Roldan. He once said, "Stop comparing yourself to others. The only thing that you will gain by comparing yourself and your current situations to others is pain. When you compare yourself to others, you are opening yourself up to feeling less about yourself." I appreciate you tuning in. You can follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And this is the Dowden Podcasts.